English podcast.
From Learn English with Joy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our podcast, Learn English with Joy. I'm Chris, and as always, I'm here with the amazing Emily. How's everything going today, Emily?
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited for today's episode. I think it's going to be super helpful for all of you listening.
That's right. In today's episode, we're diving into something that many of us experience when learning English. How to speak English without feeling nervous. Have you ever felt nervous about speaking English?
Oh, absolutely, Chris. I think anyone learning English has probably felt nervous when they have to speak. And I'm sure many of you listening today can relate to that. Worrying about making mistakes, wondering if people will understand you. It's something that holds so many of us back.
I've been there too, Emily. I remember when I first started speaking English, I was really scared of saying something wrong. But over time, I realized that it's totally normal to feel this way, and it's something everyone goes through.
Exactly. We've all been there, but don't worry. We're here to help you overcome that fear. We'll be sharing some great tips today to help you feel more confident when speaking English. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes. The important thing is to just keep going.
So, whether you're speaking in front of a group or just having a casual conversation, we're going to give you some tools to help you speak more confidently. Let's get started. Now let's talk about one of the easiest ways to overcome that nervousness, starting with simple sentences.
That's right, Chris. The key to speaking English with confidence is to begin with sentences that are simple and easy to remember. You don't need to start by speaking long, complex sentences. Simple sentences like, I need to buy groceries or I'm making breakfast are great ways to start.
Exactly. These sentences are perfect because they're not only simple, but they're also practical. These are things you're probably saying in your head or out loud anyway, so why not say them in English? It's a great way to start getting comfortable without feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly. And by using these everyday sentences, you can practice without the pressure of saying something complicated. It's all about building your confidence in using English in daily life. Think about it. Every time you say something like, I'm cleaning the kitchen, you're practicing and making progress.
Right. And it's not just about using these sentences in your head. You should say them out loud, too. Maybe you're cleaning, cooking, or even just walking down the street. If you start describing your day in English, I'm making lunch, or I'm watching a movie, it will help you practice speaking without even realizing it.
It's really that simple. The goal is to get used to hearing your own voice speaking in English. The more you do this, the more comfortable you'll feel. And the best part? You're practicing things that are directly related to your life, so it feels natural.
Exactly, Emily. And remember, you don't need to be perfect from the start. If you make a mistake, that's okay. The goal is to get comfortable with the process. And the more you do it, the less you'll feel nervous.
Right. The key is to keep it simple. For example, when you're doing something around the house like I'm folding the laundry or I'm washing the dishes, just say it in English. You're already doing the action, so why not practice talking about it in English?
I love that, Emily. You're basically using everyday tasks as an opportunity to practice. You don't need to stop what you're doing to practice English. Just start talking to yourself about what's happening in your day, and that's practice right there.
And another great way to practice is by using your phone or a voice recorder. You can record yourself saying simple sentences and then listen to it. It's a great way to check how your pronunciation is, and it helps you become more familiar with hearing English in your own voice.
Exactly. And don't worry if it feels slow at first. It's all about starting somewhere. If you keep practicing, you'll begin to see how much more comfortable you get with speaking. Over time, you'll move from simple sentences to more complex ones.
And speaking of that, another great thing to do is speak to yourself in English. I know it sounds a little funny at first, but honestly, it's a fantastic way to practice. Imagine you're explaining something to someone, even if it's just you. For example, I'm making breakfast right now. I'm frying some eggs and toast. This kind of self-talk helps you get used to thinking in English.
Absolutely. Starting small is the key here. And guess what? The more you practice speaking those simple sentences, the easier it will be to put more words and ideas together. Eventually, you won't have to think so much about what to say.
Exactly. By building this habit of speaking simple sentences, you'll gradually gain the confidence to speak more freely. It's all about starting somewhere and keeping it easy. The goal is to enjoy the process and not put too much pressure on yourself.
So, to sum it up, start small with simple sentences, say them out loud, and use your everyday activities as practice. It might seem small at first, but trust us, these simple steps will help you feel more confident and comfortable with speaking English.
Exactly. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just start speaking and the confidence will follow. The more you speak, the less nervous you'll feel. So, give it a try today. And now, let's talk about something really important: practicing every day. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become.
That's absolutely right, Emily. Consistent practice is key to overcoming your fear and building confidence. If you practice every day, even for just a few minutes, you'll notice gradual improvements. Don't wait for the perfect moment or when you feel fully confident to speak. The best time to start is now.
Exactly. A lot of people think they need to wait until they're perfect before they speak. But that's not how language learning works. The more you speak, the better you get. Don't wait for perfection, just start. Every time you speak, you're taking one more step toward fluency.
Right, and even if you don't feel ready, don't let that stop you. Practice is about getting comfortable with the process, and just like anything else, the more you practice, the easier it becomes. The key is to keep going. If you practice every day, soon enough, you'll feel much more comfortable and confident.
Absolutely. One way to make practicing easier is to make it part of your daily routine. You don't have to set aside extra time to practice, just incorporate it into what you're already doing. For example, when you're cooking, say things out loud like, "I'm chopping the vegetables," or "I'm boiling water." Simple, everyday tasks can help you practice without even thinking about it.
I love that idea, Emily. The more you incorporate English into your day-to-day life, the less pressure you'll feel. It won't feel like a special practice session anymore. You'll just be using English as you go about your daily tasks.
Exactly, Chris. And don't forget, you don't have to be talking to someone else to practice. Speaking English to yourself is just as valuable. If you're alone, try narrating what you're doing in English. You can say things like, "I'm walking to the store," or "I'm sitting on the couch, relaxing." Even if no one is around, you're still building your speaking skills.
Right. And speaking to yourself in English is a great way to practice thinking in English too. Sometimes when we start learning a language, it can be hard to switch our thinking from our native language to English. But the more you speak out loud, the more comfortable you'll get at thinking in English instead of translating everything from your native language first.
Exactly. That's such an important point. It's about making English part of your daily life. The more you practice, the less you'll have to translate in your head. It'll start to come naturally, and soon you'll think in English without even realizing it.
Another great way to practice is by using your phone or voice recorder. Try recording yourself saying sentences in English and then listen back to them. It's a great way to check your pronunciation and see how you're progressing.
Great tip, Chris. Listening to yourself is super helpful. It also helps you get used to hearing English from your own voice, which is an important step in becoming more confident. So, don't be afraid to listen and evaluate how you're doing.
Exactly. And don't be discouraged if things feel slow at first. Language learning takes time, but the more you practice, the better and more comfortable you'll feel. And remember, it's okay to make mistakes along the way. It's all part of the process.
Exactly. The important thing is to stick with it and keep practicing. You'll be surprised by how quickly you improve when you make speaking a daily habit. And each small step you take will add up over time.
So, let's recap. Make English practice a daily habit, speak to yourself in English, and incorporate English into your everyday tasks. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel, and soon enough, you'll feel much more confident when speaking.
Absolutely. Just remember, practice doesn't need to be perfect, and every bit of progress counts. Keep going and don't give up. Exactly. Remember, you don't have to be perfect. Just start speaking, and the confidence will follow. The more you speak, the less nervous you'll feel. So, give it a try today. And now, let's talk about something that can really help you become more confident and comfortable: using English in real-life situations.
That's right, Emily. One of the best ways to feel more natural when speaking English is to start using it in your everyday life. Whether you're out shopping, eating at a restaurant, or simply chatting with friends, these everyday situations are the perfect opportunity to practice English. The key is to take the English you've been learning and put it to use in real-life scenarios.
Exactly. Let's say you're at the grocery store. Instead of just thinking about the items you need to buy in your native language, try to say them in English. For example, I need to buy milk, eggs, and bread. Or if you see a new product you're curious about, try reading the label out loud in English. By doing this, you're not just practicing words, you're also getting more comfortable with using English as part of your daily routine.
Exactly, Emily. It's those small moments, like being at the store or at the bank, where you can use English. And don't be afraid to ask questions in English too. If you're unsure about something, try asking, "How much does this cost?" Or, "Where can I find the bread section?" You don't have to worry about speaking perfectly. Just try and get the words out. The more you practice in real situations, the more comfortable you'll feel.
And the best part about using English in real-life situations is that it makes the language feel less intimidating. Think about it. You're not trying to have a formal conversation with a teacher, you're just communicating in a natural setting. And because you're doing this in your everyday life, it feels more like just another part of your routine.
Exactly. When you use English in these casual, everyday situations, you don't have time to worry about making mistakes or feeling nervous. You're just focused on what you need to communicate. This helps take away the pressure and allows you to focus more on the message than on getting every word perfect.
Exactly, Chris. And think about other scenarios where you can use English. For instance, when you're meeting someone new, try introducing yourself in English. You can say something like, "Hi, I'm Emily. Nice to meet you." Simple introductions like this are a great way to practice. They're short, casual, and very useful in real-life situations.
Great example, Emily. And once you're comfortable with introductions, you can go a step further. When you're chatting with someone, you can start asking simple questions like, "What do you do for a living?" Or, "How was your weekend?" These are common questions that will help you get into more natural conversations.
Absolutely, Chris. And remember, people appreciate it when you make the effort to speak their language, even if you're not perfect. So, don't be afraid to start conversations. People are generally understanding and will appreciate your efforts to communicate in English.
Exactly. And using English in these situations not only helps you practice, but it also makes you feel more connected to the language. The more you use English in the world around you, the more it becomes a natural part of your life, instead of something you only do in class or during study sessions.
And don't forget that this practice doesn't always have to involve speaking to someone else. You can use English when you're talking to yourself too. For example, when you're walking down the street, describe what you see in English. "There's a car driving by. I'm walking to the park." This is a great way to get used to thinking in English without any pressure.
Exactly. And if you're feeling a little shy, start small. You don't have to have long conversations right away. Start with a short sentence here and there, and soon enough, you'll be able to have longer, more comfortable conversations in English.
Right. And as we've mentioned, mistakes are part of the learning process. Don't worry if you make mistakes while practicing in real-life situations. That's how you learn. The key is to keep going and to stay consistent.
Exactly. By using English in real situations, you're making the language part of your life, and that's when the real progress starts. So, the next time you're out, whether it's shopping, eating, or just chatting with a friend, don't hesitate to use English. It's one of the best ways to feel more comfortable and confident.
Absolutely. So, start using English in your daily life. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can get more comfortable and natural with it. And remember, every bit of practice counts, no matter how small the conversation.
So, get out there and start speaking, and have fun with it. English isn't just about perfect grammar or perfect pronunciation. It's about communication. And the more you practice, the easier it will get. Now, let's talk about something really important in your learning journey: embracing mistakes.
That's right, Chris. I know that many of you might feel scared or frustrated when you make mistakes while speaking English. But let me tell you, mistakes are normal. In fact, they're a vital part of the learning process. Every mistake you make is actually a step forward, not a setback.
Exactly. It's easy to think that making mistakes is a bad thing, but in reality, mistakes are one of the best ways to learn. If you never made mistakes, how would you know what to improve on? It's all part of the process, and trust me, every expert you see today has gone through the same thing. Exactly. When I first started speaking English, I made mistakes all the time. I used the wrong words, got the grammar wrong, and even had trouble with pronunciation. But guess what? I kept going. The more I made mistakes, the more I learned from them, and that's how I got better. Yeah, I totally agree with that. When I started learning English, I was terrified of speaking because I was afraid of making mistakes. But I soon realized that the only way I would get better was by actually speaking and making mistakes along the way.
Exactly. And over time, I stopped worrying about my mistakes. Instead of seeing them as failures, I began to see them as opportunities to improve. It's like each mistake was a small lesson that brought me closer to fluency. So, don't be afraid of making mistakes. They're not something to fear, they're something to embrace.
And the key is not to let those mistakes stop you. If you make a mistake, don't just brush it off and move on. Take a moment to reflect on it. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What can I do better next time? This is how you turn every mistake into a valuable lesson.
Exactly, Chris. And here's a great tip. When you make a mistake, write it down. It could be a word you mispronounced or a sentence that didn't sound quite right. Write it down and look up the correct way to say it. Then, the next time you practice, try saying it correctly. This helps you learn from your mistakes and avoid repeating them in the future.
I love that idea, Emily. Another great way to learn from mistakes is by focusing on the specific areas where you struggle. Is it vocabulary? Is it grammar? Or maybe pronunciation? Once you identify where you're making mistakes, you can focus your practice on those areas and improve over time.
Exactly. For example, if you often mix up certain words, like much and many, make a note of it. Then, practice sentences using those words. The more you use them correctly, the more natural it will feel, and the fewer mistakes you'll make.
Right, and over time, you'll find that you make fewer mistakes in those areas. And don't forget, it's okay to make mistakes in front of others too. I used to be embarrassed, but the truth is, people appreciate your effort to speak their language. Even if you make mistakes, they're more likely to help you learn rather than judge you.
Exactly, Chris. I remember once I was speaking to a native English speaker and I made a mistake with a phrase I was using. But instead of laughing or pointing it out, they corrected me kindly and helped me learn. It felt so much better than being afraid of getting something wrong. Exactly, Emily. People are understanding, and most native speakers want to help you improve. They understand the effort it takes to learn a new language, so don't let mistakes hold you back from speaking. Right. So, to wrap this up, embrace your mistakes. They're a natural part of learning, and they're actually helping you get better. When you make a mistake, think of it as a mini lesson that brings you closer to your goal of speaking confidently. And don't forget, the more you practice, the less you'll make mistakes over time.
Exactly. The more mistakes you make, the more progress you're actually making. So keep speaking, keep practicing, and remember, mistakes are your friends, not your enemies.
That's right, Chris. Keep learning, Keep growing and keep speaking. You're doing amazing, and we believe in you.
So get out there and start speaking, and have fun with it. English isn't just about perfect grammar or perfect pronunciation, it's about communication. And the more you practice, the easier it will get. Now, let's talk about one of the most effective ways to improve your English: practicing with real people.
Exactly, Chris. While practicing on your own is important, there's no substitute for real conversations with people. Speaking with others helps you learn how to respond quickly and naturally. You get a feel for how the language is really used in everyday situations.
Right. And I know it can feel intimidating at first, but trust me, the more you practice with real people, the more confident you'll become. The key is to just do it. Don't worry about making mistakes. The more you talk, the more you'll learn, and the faster you'll improve.
Exactly. And there are so many ways you can practice with real people, even if you don't have native speakers around. For example, you can join online English clubs or language exchange groups. There are tons of websites and apps where you can connect with people from all over the world to practice speaking.
That's a great point, Emily. Online platforms are a fantastic way to practice. You can have conversations with people who are also learning English, or even native speakers who are happy to help you out. And the best part is, you can practice anytime, anywhere.
Absolutely. And when you join these groups or clubs, you're not just improving your speaking skills, you're also improving your listening skills. You'll hear different accents, different ways of speaking, and you'll get a deeper understanding of how English is used in different contexts.
Right. And one of the great things about language exchange groups is that they're usually very supportive. People are there to help each other. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. The whole point is to practice and learn from each other.
Exactly, Chris. And if you don't have access to an online group, you can still practice with friends or colleagues who speak English. Set aside some time to chat with them in English, whether it's about a casual topic, like how your day went, or something more specific.
And don't worry if you don't know all the words or phrases. Just start speaking. The more you speak, the more you'll learn. And remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about communicating. If you don't know a word, just try to explain it using other words. People will understand, and they'll appreciate that you're making the effort.
Exactly. And here's another great tip. If you're a bit shy, start by practicing with someone you feel comfortable with. You don't have to dive into a big conversation with strangers right away. Build your confidence by starting with small, comfortable interactions, and then you can gradually challenge yourself more.
That's a really good point, Emily. Start small and work your way up. And don't forget, every conversation, no matter how short, is a step forward. Every time you practice speaking with someone, you're improving your fluency, your confidence, and your overall language skills.
Absolutely. And even if you're only able to have short conversations, that's still valuable practice. Little by little, those small conversations will add up, and you'll start to notice the progress. Plus, practicing with others will also help you build relationships with people who share the same goal of learning English.
Exactly. And remember, it's not just about improving your speaking skills. By having conversations, you're also improving your listening skills, expanding your vocabulary, and learning to think in English more easily.
Right. So don't be afraid to speak with real people. Join online groups, talk to your friends, or find a language exchange partner. Every conversation you have is a chance to learn and grow.
Exactly. The more you practice speaking with others, the more confident and natural you'll feel. So go out there and start talking. You've got this. Exactly. The more you practice speaking with others, the more confident and natural you'll feel. So go out there and start talking. You've got this. Now, let's take a moment to review everything we've discussed today.
Absolutely. We've covered some really important tips to help you speak English with confidence. First, we talked about starting with simple sentences. You don't need to worry about making everything perfect. Just begin with easy sentences like, I'm making breakfast, or I need to buy groceries. This is a great way to ease into speaking English without feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly, Emily. Then we discussed the importance of practicing every day. It's all about creating a habit. Whether you're practicing by yourself, talking to friends, or just speaking about what you're doing during the day, the key is consistency. The more you practice, the easier it becomes.
And we also talked about using English in real-life situations. Whether you're shopping, cooking, or meeting new people, try to use English as much as possible. The more you practice in real situations, the more natural it will feel. Right! We also touched on the idea of embracing mistakes. Mistakes are a part of the learning process, and each one is an opportunity to improve. Don't be afraid to make them. They help you grow. Absolutely. And finally, we discussed the importance of practicing with real people. Whether it's online language exchanges or speaking with friends, practicing with others helps you learn how to communicate naturally. The more you talk, the more confident you'll feel.
Right. We also discussed the importance of embracing mistakes. Don't let the fear of making mistakes stop you. They're a part of learning. Every mistake is an opportunity to improve and get better.
And last but not least, we talked about practicing with real people. Whether it's through online language exchanges, speaking with friends, or even chatting with strangers, practicing with others is one of the best ways to get better. The more you speak, the easier it gets.
All right. Now let's take a quick moment to review some of the vocabulary we've learned today.
We've covered a few key words like confident, fluent, habit, and more. Now, let's practice them together. Ready?
Here we go. First up, let's talk about confident.
Definition: feeling sure of yourself and your abilities, especially when speaking or performing. Example: she felt confident speaking in English after practicing every day. Let's say it together. She felt confident speaking in English after practicing every day.
Great job. Now, let's move on to fluent period. Definition: being able to speak a language easily and smoothly without hesitation. Example: he became fluent in English after several years of practice. Repeat after me. He became fluent in English after several years of practice. Awesome. Now, let's try habit period. Definition: a regular action or behavior that you do automatically. Example: speaking English every day became a habit for him. Say it with us. Speaking English every day became a habit for him.
Nice. Next up, let's review mistake period. Definition: an error or something wrong you do, especially when learning. Example: don't worry about mistakes, they help you learn. Repeat after me. Mistakes help you learn.
Great job, everyone. Now, let's talk about comfortable. Definition: feeling relaxed and at ease in a situation. Example: she felt comfortable speaking in English after practicing with friends. Say it with us. She felt comfortable speaking in English after practicing with friends. Perfect. Now, let's move to confidently. Definition: doing something in a way that shows belief in yourself and your abilities. Example: he spoke confidently during his presentation in English. Repeat after me. He spoke confidently during his presentation in English.
Excellent. Now, let's wrap up with a quick recap. Pick just one word from today's list and try to use it in a sentence today. Remember, using these words in real conversations is one of the best ways to improve. Keep practicing, and soon, these words will feel natural to you.
That's exactly right, Emily. I know sometimes learning a new language can feel overwhelming, but the key is to keep going. Every little bit of progress you make is important, and over time, those small steps add up. As the famous author J.K. Rowling once said, "It is our choices that show what we truly are, far more than our abilities." By choosing to learn and improve every day, you're showing yourself how strong you are.
such a powerful quote. It's a reminder that every day you choose to practice, even if it's just a little, you are getting closer to your goal. And it's not about being flawless, it's about keeping that momentum going.
Exactly. And with that, we encourage you to speak a sentence in English today, even if it's something small. Maybe something like, I'm having a great day, or I like learning English. Just one sentence. Say it out loud.
Yes, every sentence counts. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. You're doing amazing, and we're so proud of how far you've come. Keep going, and remember, progress is more important than perfection.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and don't be afraid of making mistakes. We believe in you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Take care, everyone.
Keep learning, and remember, you're one step closer to your goal every time you speak English. We're cheering for you.